cry foul. You either correct it, you make them wrong, or you give the right information. That's where we found ourselves in. But it is part of the game of African politics we should accept. But we are also moving rapidly from those old times. Each year, each day, each month, Africa is moving towards its direction. And it's all because people are committed, dedicated, and would even risk everything to make sure we put ourselves on the correct footing. I would say that this government is fortunate to have an opposition parties with a difference. If you look at post-colonial Gambia, the current opposition parties, which for me are just the GDC and the APRC, are political parties with a difference in all ways. If you look at the GDC, they are peace-loving. They work for the betterment of the Gambian people. They want peace, stability, and progress, and to ensure that there is good governance, rule of law, and democracy. Recently, the GDC has spearheaded in trying to ameliorate the sufferings of people who experienced flood victims. In fact, for me, that sparked the move by government to go and make a follow-up at the same spot when there were other areas. So that's what we expect from opposition political party. And in fact, that's what government should embrace, acknowledge, and appreciate. That's the thing. Two, we have been denied permits. One of our supporters had been shot dead. We have been denied permit to celebrate our day. We could have gone into the streets. If it were those times, they would have been in the streets. So, but we were able to calm down our people. We tried to engage government, and we tried to ensure that justice is done peacefully and according to law. So if you have an opposition parties of that type, and the government wants peace, progress, and prosperity, they should stop frustrating those political parties. Because no amount of frustration, arrest, detentions, etc. would move any of these political parties backwards or give their back to the people. We will always move forward. So, as I said, we are peaceful. Honestly, we are peaceful. We when I say we, I mean we, the opposition parties. And we are the largest, we are the biggest political parties. Together, we command more votes than any other person. And we are, from my perspective, we care more for Gambians despite not being in office.
Sure.
And as regards what happened, for me, it's not a surprise. I will expect anything more than that, in fact. But what I want, especially the security forces to understand, is that extractions from statements, trying to give it meaning, is almost criminal. Any speech, however good it is, you can make an extraction of it, a portion of it, and you can put it out of context, and it can mean differently to different people. But that aside, the issue was about soldiers who were detained. I have not heard from them that no, they were not detained. Our call is, these are soldiers that came to our notice that they have been arrested and not presented and not taken to court. And they are still under detention. And we asked, is it because they are APRC? Because they are almost all APRC. And that they are almost all Jolas. Is it because of that? And for us, there is a trend that goes to punish the Jola tribe. That trend, we have seen it. We have seen it. We were in Fonyi many times. That is not tribalistic. That is not a means of pushing Jolas into fury or anything. All what we are demanding is all tribes should be treated equally, all regions treated equally, and all people treated equally. That's all what we are demanding. You know, and if there is any sector of society that is being affected negatively by government, it's our responsibility to cry foul. So, Honorable Dr. Sabali, through you and your entire executive, please extend our appreciation to your party leader and the entire membership of the GDC. As I said earlier, in solidarity, we will be able to impact positively on the political scene in this country. We are not saying that we are going to be government. Oppositions have thought that even if you are not in government, you can impact on people's lives. Even if you are not in government, you can serve people. Even if you are not in government, you can be a check, effective check on democracy, rule of law, and governance. We've shown that. Finally, I want to conclude by saying, and I'm sorry if I say opposition political parties, I think you will concur with me. We, the opposition political parties of the Gambia, believe in peace, progress, and prosperity. We want to carry out all our responsibilities within the laws of the Gambia. But equally, we want to make it clear, no amount of force, ridicule, arrest, detention would take us back. We are focused, we will move, and we believe that only Allah the Almighty decides, and whatever fate we find ourselves, we accept in good faith. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you.
Thank you very much, Party Leader, for the information of the members of the media. This is a courtesy call by the National Executive of the Gambia Democratic Congress on the directives of their party leader, who is out of the jurisdiction. And then the delegation is headed by Dr. Demba Sabali. We had Mamadou M. Jallo, PRO Gambia Democratic Congress, in his opening statement expressing solidarity and their deep concerns and strongly condemn the act of the police. We also heard from Samba Balde, the Administrative Secretary of the Gambia Democratic Congress, who indicated what happened could have happened to anybody, and then the police are expected to be apolitical and neutral. They condemn in the strongest possible term. They are also sorry for what happened. We also had Ndeye Njai, an executive member of the GDC, who also expressed the GDCs and the entire supporters of the GDC with our party leader and the APRC. And he said what the party leader was saying, he was exercising his political and civil rights, and they condemn it in the strongest possible term. And we also had Mr. Dr. Demba Sabali, who is the head of delegation, on behalf of the party leader, express his solidarity and also condemn it in its strongest possible terms, and that the GDC and APRC will not allow us to be carried by political influence of the Gambia Police Force. So I want to thank you sincerely, and I want to say that immediately after this meeting, the National Youth Mobilizer of the GDC is also leading a delegation of the GDC National Youth Executive also for a similar visit. I want to thank you. We can end by meditations or prayers individually. Bismillah.